What we have here is the apparatus bay. This is the first time ever that we've managed to get every vehicle that Mendon Fire has underneath one roof. When we were located at the old headquarters, we only had enough room for 3 vehicles, so we kept our engine, heavy rescue, and our ambulance there. And before we acquired this building, we were renting garage space where we kept the remainder of the vehicles. So what would happen on an occasion such as that, if there was an all-call, then you show up at station 1 until the trucks are gone, and after that you grab your gear and run to the other station. Now we have the luxury of everything here, everybody's gear here. So we've all got gear racks now. We've got brand new gear, which Chief Horn's been working on quite a while getting us, so we're finally, since he's been here, all with new gear. This is the Plimo vent system. This was one of the main causes of the OSHA making us abandon the old building. What this does is, when it's not hooked up at the moment because it's still being installed, but what it does is when the trucks come back in, you hook it up to the exhaust pipe as soon as they enter the back door, and they continue to back in. And for as long as it's connected to the truck, all the exhaust is captured through this tubing and piped to an exhaust system where it's filtered and vented outside of the building. So for the first time ever in Mendon Fire history, we're going to have cleaner air on our apparatus floor. What we have here is our decon room. We have a shower, so after calls, if a member needs to clean up, whether it's a fire call where they may have been exposed to carcinogens or other hazardous materials, we're able to come back and clean before we go into our main showering quarters. Additionally, we now have a washer and dryer so that we can clean our gear. So if, again, such as the mill fire in Uxbridge, after that call, we needed to decontaminate our equipment because of the different contaminants in the air. So for the first time ever now, we can wash our gear, which one of the big problems before is if we came off of a medical where perhaps there was blood involved or other bodily fluids, there was nowhere for us to clean. We were basically forced to pack up, go home, clean up, and come back to work, or use the garden hose outside the station. Additionally, with our backboards, etc., the medical equipment we use, after a call we were forced to hose it off in front of the old station. Now we've got a proper decon sink, we've got the shower, so we're finally moving on. We've got everything that we should have had all along. This isn't necessarily, it's all luxuries for us, we're glad to have it, but these are the basic necessities that any fire department is required to have by OSHA standards. This here is our SCBA fill room, or self-contained breathing apparatus. If you've ever noticed when firefighters are on scene, they wear an air bottle on their back, and that's not actually pure oxygen. It's basically room air compressed. And when we refill those bottles, we come here and you just open this, you fill 2 bottles at the same time, and the air that's going in here is coming from the cascade bank. So what we do is, when this runs low, we fire up this compressor, which then draws in air and fills these bottles and keeps it stored up for when we need it. The problem in the old station was, first of all, let me state, this is a luxury. It's great to have something of this magnitude in a small department like we are. Other towns that don't have them, such as Hopedale, they have one now, but prior to that they would come by and fill up their bottles when they needed to, Millville, etc. But in our old station, it's actually sat on the apparatus floor behind the fire trucks. So whenever you fired the compressor up, it was actually sucking in the air that the EPA had already said we shouldn't be breathing. So the air that we weren't allowed to breathe on a daily basis while operating at the station was the same air that we had to draw from to fill our bottles. So with the new station, they planned and piped it in so that now it's tied into the outside. So when we need to refill our cascade system, we're actually drawing in fresh air from the outside, which then goes into the filtration system and then is pumped into the bottle. Here we are upstairs in what is our living quarters, also known as our day room. We have a couple of sofas where in the evening time, once all of our administrative work's done, we come up here, relax, watch some TV. which we've got a big screen TV here, which was donated by Aaron Collins, one of our call firefighters here. And these quilts right here were actually handmade by one of our guys. His mother is a quilter, and she wanted to give us kind of a housewarming gift, so she took the time to make both of these up for us, and she actually says she's going to be making more. It was her plan to have one for each of the bunk beds. Here we have 2 rooms. They're identical. It accommodates two members in each room, which this is another big thing for us. This is the first time that we've actually had beds. Prior to Chief Horn taking over the department, at the overnights, 11 to 7, were on call. Nobody in the station for the most part. Most ambulance calls were covered from home. If the tone came in, then the members responded to the station. One of the big things Chief Horn did was, in order to improve our response time, he's now worked and gotten it where we're covered on the overnight. So 7 days a week, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. is what we call on call, but in station. So members come in for a flat rate and do the overnight. We have beds. Before this, we actually had fold-up cots. So we went from a mattress that was maybe 1 or 2 inches thick to a nice regular-sized twin bed like you'd find at home. We're going to kind of make a tribute wall in remembrance of those who perished on 9/11. This flag lists all the names of the members of the FDNY, all 343 who perished during the collapse of the Twin Towers. So we've also got a couple of other, this is going to be framed and behind glass, and we've got a couple of pictures that go along with it that we'll put one on each side. And currently we're working with the City of New York to acquire a piece of steel, one of the I-beams from the collapsed towers, that we're hoping to mount on a pedestal right here, and across the top we're going to have some scripture, something we haven't really decided on yet, but it's either going to say "We'll never forget" or "Some gave all gave some." Just a little remembrance. It's something that's kind of gone to the wayside in the last few years. I don't think many people remember what happened that day and how they felt. It's just another past holiday, if you will.